The item in this bag can help your tone, but you'll never hear it, and you'll probably never see it. Let's check it out. We have, from LEKATO, the CP206 Isolated Power Supply. And we also have a manual in the box as well. Is the brick and all the power cords, all the patch cords. I want to thank LEKATO for sending this out. I do appreciate that. No conditions, no stipulations, so you're getting an honest review. There we go, the first look at the LEKATO Power Supply. Isolated Power Supply. Now you may ask yourself, what does isolated mean? Well, it means a couple of things. It means that the power that outputs from here is isolated from the power from the wall. But it also means that each outlet is its own dedicated power supply. I'll put a little graphic up here that shows like the transformers in a row. That's a good indication that each outlet is isolated from the one next to it. A total of 12 outputs, 6 outputs 9 volts DC at 100 milliamps, 2 outlets 9 volts at 300 milliamps, and 2 outlets 9 volts at 500 milliamps. There's one outlet at 12 volts at 300 milliamps and one outlet at 18 volts at 300 milliamps. So you have a total of 12 outputs, 10 are dedicated to 9 volt, 112, 118, all with enough milliamps to power just about anything you need. So when you're looking at a power supply and you see 100 milliamps, well, what does a typical pedal draw? Well, for things like distortions and fuzzes and overdrives, very little. This big muff between 7 and 10 max milliamps. So 100 milliamp output is way more than it needs. When you get into something like this chorus pedal, it's about 30 milliamps. Still, 100 milliamp outlet's going to power that just fine. Something like an A-B switch, barely nothing, if anything. And this here is one that I brought out just because it will work on the 18 or the 12 volts, so I can make use of that outlet as well too. There are many pedals that will work on 9 to 18 volts. Just check with the manufacturer. And I'm going to put a link in the description for a site called stinkfoot.se. They have a complete listing, well not complete, but a very thorough listing of guitar pedals and the power draw. I found it very useful for researching this video. Great site. The link for this will be in the description, and I'll put a little one up in this corner. Unless I'm backwards, then it's that corner. But as you can see, we have 100 milliamps, 300 milliamps, and they're sort of intermixed there. I'm not quite sure why that is. The big power hogs on a power supply are the multi-effects units. I have a couple here, and these both draw 500 milliamps. Well, let me take that back. They don't draw 500 milliamps. The power supplies that come with them are rated for 500 milliamps. The draw could actually be much less. And in most cases, you are giving it more power than it actually needs. It's there if it needs it. Typically, the only thing that I really get concerned about in putting in a higher amperage outlet like the 300s would be loopers and digital pedals. Digital delays, digital reverbs, they suck up more juice. They can use a little over 100. And some of your higher end boutique pedals may draw more as well and may need a 300 output. 500, I don't think there's a stomp box out there that needs more than 300, but 500's there if you need it. 500, however, will run the big power-hungry multi-effects units. Standard guitar pedal. This will easily power a pedal like this. No issue there, of course it is. It's going to power this little chorus pedal with 100 milliamps, easy peasy, no problem at all. What I wanted to show you was this pedal here, which will run on 9 volts DC, 12 volts DC, and it'll also run on 18 volts DC. So you can get full use of all the outlets here as long as you have pedals that accept voltages over 9 volts. Again, check the stinkfoot.se site or with your manufacturer to see if your pedal will work on a higher voltage. If you have an older Boss pedal labeled ACA, then you can use the 12 volt output on this. Older Boss pedals took 12 volts in and it converted to 9 volts within the pedal. But ACA, 12 volts, let me get this right, PSA is 9 volts. That's the Boss world. PSA 9, ACA 12. Looper pedals, they're also power hungry. I would definitely put a looper on a 300 just because, again, it is a digital pedal. Give your loopers, your digital delays, your digital reverbs, the high output. Give them the 300s. If you're not using the 500s, give them the 500s. Me, I like to have a multi-effects unit on my board with regular stomp boxes because they have effects loops. You can do that. Got the 500 milliamps on the isolated power supply. And it's going to power this right up. And there you go. So I can run my multi-effects unit off of this as well as a whole lot of stomp boxes. This could be an asset to any pedal board. It's going to give you everything you need. Of course, there's going to be links in the description below. And I want to advise you, at that link, they also have another model of this. It's a few dollars more, but it's got some really cool features like a USB, as well as 2 selectables. So you can go 9, 12, or 18. If you're on the webpage with this link, check it out. I think they're both very good. So this is it. This is the LEKATO. LEKATO. Ka-ah-ah. Not Kato. LEKATO. I checked. And if I can figure out a way to actually test it, I will. But for now, that's just a rundown of the features of this. Absolutely solid metal construction. Nice and flat too for mounting. Use double-sided tape or even Velcro if you want to move it between boards. But yeah, this is nice and thin. Nice low profile. Lots of outlets. Lots of milliamperage to power any pedal that you need. This will do it. And this will do your whole board. Unless you have a crazy board with way too many pedals or something. Then it might not, but it will. It's a power supply. Isolated power supplies have separate grounds and positives for each pedal, and they don't intermix. Isolation's good. It's something you don't find on cheap power supplies. This is really affordable right now on Amazon. I think it's around $49, and I think there's a coupon too, so check out the link in the description for a decent price on this. And again, I want to thank you for watching today. LEKATO Isolated Power Supply. 12 outlets, a couple of 500s, a couple of 300s, a whole bunch of 100s, 9 volts, 12 volts, 18 volts. This will take care of your pedal board needs. LEKATO. I want to thank LEKATO again for sending this out for me to review. I do appreciate that. And until next time, I want you guys to take care, enjoy your gear, and peace out.